Testing. All right. And hello everyone and welcome to beautiful Pam Evans Smith Arena. We've got a fun matchup on our hands tonight in this Division III North Coast Athletic Conference matchup between the hosting Wittenberg Tigers and the visiting Depauw Tigers. We'd like to welcome you all into the Tiger Sports Network. My name is JJ Weisenberger. I am accompanied by my good friend and partner Ezekiel Bennett. Zeke, how are you doing tonight?
JJ, I'm doing good. It's a wet day outside, but thank God we were inside today. I'm very excited to watch some good volleyball today and watch these Tigers compete.
Yeah, it should be a very fun and exciting matchup, a competitive one in this Tiger Cup, as one may say. A little friendly rivalry between the two Tiger mascots here, but should be a really fun matchup. We're in the heart of NCAC play, so every game matters leading up into that postseason tournament, trying to give yourself the best case scenario, the best seed. Both teams have an okay season so far, probably not the seasons they would want. Depauw 10-10 on the season. And just trying to struggle to find a rhythm. You know, they've struggled against this Wittenberg team. They haven't beat this Wittenberg team since 2019. Yep. They're 7-0 at home, so they've struggled on the road. Wow. So it's going to be a big test today on the road as we are underway. Tyler Linkart takes a serve. Mac Ricketts to Kate Colahan, who gets to start. She gets on the board early. Kate Colahan, a big-time freshman for this Wittenberg team, really solidifying herself in the heart of this rotation in the middle of that net between her and Kendall Black. They've been a force to be reckoned with, but Kate gets the start today. Mac Ricketts, her serve, finds the back of the net, and that's going to be a big key. As we know, this Tiger team is a very skilled team. They've had a lot of success. They play very well, but one thing they run into is a little bit of sloppy play, a lot of self-inflicted wounds, a lot of errors on their own. So that's one thing they got to limit, especially as you're entering in North Coast Athletic Conference play, where, you know, no game gets guaranteed. There's that one from Bartulovic. It's going to go far. The Tigers, 7-12 on the season. And, you know, it started off a rough stretch. Played a lot of really good teams, a lot of really solid top 25 opponents, a couple top 10 teams, the number one team in the country. But since then, they've really picked it up. They're 5-2 in their last 7 games for 7-12 overall. Coming off of a tough weekend, played in a little challenge, played Marietta, Carnegie Mellon, and one other team I can't think of right now, but they went 1-2 on the weekend, played a lot of volleyball, looking to bounce back here tonight on their home court. Once again, as that one's tipped and out after Depauw responded to Wittenberg's opening point with 3 of their own, 3-2. And now Ava Golem will enter into the game.
Now, JJ, you said that the Wittenberg Tigers did, in fact, have a tough start to their schedule. They played a lot of good teams, but I really think that benefited them for this part of the season, the bulk of the season. They saw those good teams, and now I think they're ready to go.
Especially with this new lineup. Is Kate Colahan there? What a job there from Ashley Haas to keep that one up. Mac Ricketts now to Kate Colahan. She goes for the soft touch, and this time we'll get it to drop. Good play and set from Mac Ricketts, and then the soft touch from Caitlin Colahan there. Catches Depauw off guard, tie game. But yeah, you know, especially with a lot of new faces in this rotation, a lot of freshmen, a lot of new players stepping into the role of being one of these main rotation players, that definitely is going to help you playing that type of schedule. It's gonna stink to go through it, especially when you're not having success, as that one's gonna get tipped out of bounds when you're not having the success you wanted to. But they played a lot of those games really close. You know, played a lot of really close sets, took some really good teams to some late games, won a couple of sets, and just played very well. Just were unable to close them off, and some, you know, early season errors that we saw from them is that serve is gonna go right off the arms of number 10, Katie Gansel. But right now they've really found a rhythm. They look a lot more comfortable on the court. They've got a good solid rotation. They've got head coach Evelyn Miller back. Yep. She's back on the sideline today.
Along with the baby. So big congrats to her and her family for that. That one, what a hit there. And
rush shot.
What a dig for Mac Ricketts. Unfortunately, it will not count as it hit the antenna, but what a display of power from Depauw right there. I believe it was number 17, Ashley Haas, showing off some power. So Wittenberg now responding with 5 straight points, taking a 6-3 advantage. Ava Golem sends that one, a really good serve. Handled much better from Depauw, but that hit's going to float a little long there. Be out of bounds for another point in favor of the Tigers, the Wittenberg Tigers. I forgot, it's going to be tough to not reference the mascot here tonight, but Ava Golem now, another really good serve. Barely makes it over the net. Good pass, but that one's going to be high. Depauw arguing for a tip, not going to get it. 8-3 now Wittenberg, and that's going to force an early timeout from head coach Deb Zellers.
This is a great start for the Wittenberg Tigers tonight. I haven't seen them have this much energy and to start a game yet.
Yeah, looking very strong, and I think, coming back off a tough weekend, getting to play a familiar foe and being on your home court. I know they played at home over that challenge in this weekend, but playing 3 games of volleyball in 2 days can be a little tough on the body. I got a chance to talk to a couple of the athletes and Coach Jamie Peterson during our coaches show, 2nd and 4. If you didn't get a chance, check it out. Really cool show where we get to get an insight and dive deep into the fall athletics and get to talk to some of the coaches and athletes. But, they talked about the mentality going into a weekend like this. They give a little bit more rest and much more of a laid-back week going up into it because you got to prepare your bodies for it. And, they played some really tough teams and played some really close games. I think every set in those 2 losses they had were within 3 points. I mean, a lot of them went the extra distance, went to the 2-point tiebreaker, and it was just a lot of back and forth. Just were unable to close out some games, which has been a common theme for them. But off to a much better start, and they're putting themselves in a really good position right now. So timeout is over. Depauw looking to settle down a little bit. That's a long travel for Thursday night, over 3-hour drive to play this game, so maybe a little bit of jitters coming off the bus, so we'll see if they can shake it off and get back into it, and that's going to be a good point. A big point out of the timeout there from number 16, Olivia Carwin, as it goes off the outstretched arms of Kaylee Worcester there. Was unable to keep that one in. So now Carwin sends it away. Mac Ricketts now to Kate Colahan. Oh, what a block there from the sub.
Points for the Depauw Tigers. That's huge for them.
Big points out of the timeout from Caden Harrington, the freshman, 6'3". Big presence there at the net right there. Usually we talk about it in terms of that serve's going to flow out of bounds. We talk about the presence of Kate Colahan and now Kendall Black, who's checking into the game, using their size to their advantage and really being an intimidating presence at the net. But Caden Harrington, that's a big presence at the net. 6'3". We saw it there. She's been able to get a couple blocks on the middle hitters there. Allie White with the dig. Mac Ricketts now over to Worcester, and that one's going to get blocked, and that one's going to drop. So once again, Caden Harrington comes in, 2 big blocks off the bench, and gets a couple of much-needed points to regain some energy on the Depauw bench. So it'll be Katie Gansel to send it away. The serve is up. Allie White, a little bit of a misread there. Last second, tries to adjust to it, unable to. Goes off her right hand. And a free point for Depauw. So Gansel once again gets the signal from her coach. The serve is up. It's a good serve. Allie White handles it much better. Mac Ricketts now over to Worcester. It's going to get tipped. Gansel tries to play it. It's going to stay in play. Depauw sends it over. Free ball now for the Tigers. Allie White, Mac Ricketts, Tyler Linkart. And there she is. Haven't called her name yet, but the All-American outside hitter, Tyler Linkart, gets her first kill of the game. And that's just as smooth as it gets. That's what you want right there. Allie White, pass up to Mac Ricketts to set to Tyler Linkart. 9 times out of 10, that's going to result in a point. Cam Colahan subs in, but her serve is going to float a little bit too high. This is what you tend to see in a lot of these volleyball games, is the first set's a little sloppy from both teams. It isn't really till set 2 or 3 where teams get settled in. They get a feel for what the tendencies of what the other team wants to do, kind of the areas of the floor they're trying to get to. It's that pass, the running hit from Kendall Black there. It's going to get handled well. But another free ball. So Cam Colahan now. Mac Ricketts over to Worcester. Good tip at the net. Oh, what a job to keep it up. But another free ball. Will the Tigers be able to take advantage of this one? Once again, another good dig. Depauw staying alive. They're going to get a much better hit. Allie White with the diving dig there. Kendall Black's going to get blocked at the net. A scramble now. A couple Tigers on the ground. Worcester once again blocked, and somehow this is still staying up. Mac Ricketts to Worcester once again, and she's going to try to go hit.
What a series that was,
but
JJ.
Wow, yeah, what a point from Depauw. It felt like Wittenberg was going to get that point all the way until finally they were able to regain, get a much better touch, get it over the net, and then Wittenberg was scrambling around. We saw a couple of girls on the floor there and just were not able to recover and get it over that front line for Depauw right now, proving to be a big challenge for this Wittenberg team. Harrington, oh, what a hit there.
It's all tied up just like that.
Caden Harrington big time off the bench so far. Comes in and provides a big spark, a big kill right there, displaying some big power. So 10-10 game now. And that's going to be another point for Depauw, and it's going to be a timeout Wittenberg. So Depauw calls a timeout of their own, and it was perfect timing. They come out of the timeout storming, get a bunch of points back, and even retake the lead 11-10. Evelyn Miller forced to call a timeout, as she can really feel the momentum and energy shift into Depauw's side.
Whatever Depauw's coach talked about in that timeout definitely worked, JJ. They came back flying with points.
Yeah, and like kind of what I was referring to, coming off a long bus ride, with that first set, usually being a little sloppier in volleyball games, trying to feel it out. Sometimes you just need that timeout. You need that little break to settle down, catch your breath a little bit, be like, okay, here's what Wittenberg's finding success off of. And a lot of it was just a couple of missed touches from yourself, putting yourself in not the best positions, but then you call that timeout, you regain yourself, you settle down, you stick back in, you lock back into the game plan, and they came out and they were running it to perfection, looked really strong, and now we're going to see if Wittenberg can answer out of a timeout of their own. But what a start. This is exactly what we expect in a North Coast Athletic Conference matchup, especially between these two teams. It's always a back-and-forth competitive game. Although the last 4 games between these two teams have been decided in 3-0 favors in favor of Wittenberg. And that's going to be a big point, a free point out of the timeout there for Wittenberg. So Piper Ricketts entering into the game for Wittenberg to serve it away. Sharing the floor with her sister Mac Ricketts. The serve is a good one, handled well from Gansel. That hit over right to Allie White. Mac Ricketts now to Kendall Black, soft touch. Grace Myers is there. Good pass. Piper Ricketts takes it well. Mac Ricketts now the pass over to Bartulovic, sends it over. What a play once again from Myers. Back row. Piper Ricketts is there once again. Mac Ricketts goes for the soft touch, and there it is. The patented, as me and former broadcaster Sam Monachino used to refer to her as Magic Ricketts. And just some of the magic she's able to create, and that's it right there. There's a reason she's another All-American for her. She's been phenomenal. She's one of the best setters in the entire country, and she showcased some of her displays right there. And then her sister Piper Ricketts gets a big point off the serve. So timeouts proven to be very effective from both sides. Wittenberg comes out of the timeout and gets 3 straight points. So Piper Ricketts sent it away once again. A good serve. Ridgway handles it. Tipped at the net, and it's going to fall. So Kenzie Myers gets that one after a tip ball at the net, and it'll be Kendall Herrick to substitute into the game to serve. 13-12 our score right now. Wittenberg leading, but a back-and-forth game. Game of runs so far. Wittenberg jumped out to the early lead. Depauw responded, then Wittenberg response of their own. Kendall Black, the quick
what a
hit.
Smack by Kendall Black.
One of my favorite plays. We've talked about it before on the broadcast. Just such a smooth play. Mac Ricketts puts it perfectly where it needs to be. Kendall Black, she deceives it so well. She's still on her way up, then out of nowhere, the quick hit.
Yep.
The way how quick she's able to rotate her arm through there and get the power and accuracy is so impressive. But what a hit there from Bartulovic, but what a dig from Myers. It's going to fall to Bartulovic. Mac Ricketts now. Kate Colahan blocked it once again at the net. Cam Colahan over to Bartulovic, blocked at the net, and it's going to be point Depauw. One thing I do want to point out, both pairs of sisters on the court right now for Wittenberg. Kate and Cam Colahan and Mac and Piper Ricketts.
That's just something you can just never see that often.
Yeah, and you love to see it. We love the family connection here in Wittenberg. That one floating at the net. Mac Ricketts once again goes for the quick touch. Depauw somehow able to keep it up once again. Mac Ricketts over to Bartulovic, and it's going to get blocked down. But once again, just Depauw, their ability to keep up some of these balls that really feels like in most games would find a way to drop. They stay with balls and track them very well, even the ones that are very tough spots, and they're able to put it in a position where they're at least able to keep it in play. What a dig for Mac Ricketts, but a big hit from Depauw. Allie White to Bartulovic, blocked at the net once again. This time, number 14, Lauren Ridgway. Another big presence at the net, 6'2". So Depauw's size right now really proven to be an issue for Wittenberg, getting a lot of blocks at the net. Wittenberg struggling to find a gap and a way over and around the outstretched arms. But it'll be Grace Myers now for Depauw, the libero, to send it away. Allie White, Kate Colahan. Whoa, what a dig there from Myers. Pass over, soft touch. Caitlin Colahan keeps it up. It's going to float over the net. Once again, a scramble for it. Wittenberg comes away with it. Bartulovic tries to get it over, but it doesn't make it over the net. And it's going to be a tie game once again, 15-all. But Grace Myers has been performing very well in this first set. A couple of big digs, some good serves, some good passes, just overall very good play. Another good serve there. It's going to be a scramble to keep it up. Free ball now. Mac Ricketts is going to send it deep. Myers is there. The set. Soft touch. And a really well played there from Katie Gansel.
The fake spike to a soft touch. That is one of my favorite volleyball plays.
And, you know, and they make it look so easy, but the reality, it is a very tough timing play to get. You get all the way to the peak, and you're falling down when you hit that ball again. And a good serve there from Grace Myers once again. Linkart unable to handle it, so Depauw, a little 4-point swing there, and it's going to force a timeout from Evelyn Miller, her second and final one of set number 1. What a game we've got going on, a competitive back and forth. The teams are starting to really settle in now. Seen some good volleys, some really good volleyball being played. Depauw just really imposing a good power at the net and showcasing their power with some of their big outside hitters right now. And Wittenberg just hasn't been able to handle it. A lot of what they're doing really good job is deceiving, going from soft touches to those bigger hits, and it's proven to be very effective.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Excuse me. I think this game seems like it might come to the 5th set, JJ, the way that they've been going back and forth, and that's just what you love to see, especially in conference play too.
Yeah, you know, this is what you signed up for. This is the reason you spend a lot of your fall and summer training for this all year round. And, you know, these type of games are where you get to really showcase your abilities and skills, and so far we've been able to see that, and it is still set number 1. You know, we talked about a little bit of rust maybe in the first sets for some teams, and we saw it from both these teams early on, but right now really shaking off that rust quick and early. We'll see if Depauw can find a way to make it through. Grace Myers, Piper Ricketts, Mac Ricketts now over to Tyler Linkart, goes for the soft touch. Herrick is there for it. That soft touch is not able to go for it. Katie Gansel looked like she mistimed her jump just a bit and was forced to hit it at an awkward spot, unable to get it over the net, so a big point off the timeout. So far, timeouts have been very effective like we've talked about. We'll see if Wittenberg can have that same thing here. Ava Golem, a good serve. Gansel plays it well. Herrick now over, tipped at the net. Tyler Linkart keeps it up. Mac Ricketts now over to Worcester. Gets it over. It's going to be played, and it's going to drop. So Wittenberg 2 points out of the timeout. And Worcester finally finding a way around those big blockers from Depauw there, and it results in a big-time point. So Ava Golem, when we had our early run, she was the one serving it away. Another good serve from her, falling right over the net. Oh, what a play! It's going to be a scramble. Mac Ricketts caught out in rotation there, starting to rotate up towards the middle, close to the net. That ball came flying at her, had to throw her left hand at it. Nobody was able to really get a clean touch after that. So Depauw responds with a big point. Allie White now. Mac Ricketts over to Worcester. What a hit there, Grace Myers. We've seen her handle a lot of big-time hits so far, but that unable to handle that one. So Kaylee Worcester now getting a couple of big kills out of the timeout. So it'll be Allie White, the libero for this Wittenberg team. Sophomore to send it away. It's a good serve. Barely keeps it up. Grace Myers now. Harrington just sends it over. Free ball for the Tigers. Can they take advantage of it? Kendall Black. Oh, what a play. Kendall Black just kind of smacks that thing forward and floats it into that far right corner. Perfect placement and drops for the big point. Wittenberg retakes the lead, 19-18. Allie White, another good serve. Gansel plays it a lot better. Big play, blocked at the net. Tyler Linkart with a quick hit over. What a play from Tyler Linkart. Oh, this is going to be a change of a call here, and it's actually going to be maybe a net violation there, but it's going to go against Wittenberg, so Depauw gets a point. And that's a big point back. Wittenberg would have gone 2-point lead with the way this game is going right now. Might be enough to close it out as we are closing near that 25 mark. Allie White now sees the serve well. Kendall Black just drops it down. Mac Ricketts and Kendall Black finding a lot of success here. Set number 1. So Cam Colahan back to serve it away. Her first serve floated that one a little long. We'll see if she can find a way to keep this one in bounds. Serve from Cam. It's a floater. It's a good one. Gansel plays it well. Over to Herrick. Cam Colahan now. Mac Ricketts over to Worcester. Times it up. Just out of bounds.
Just missed that line.
But again, it looked like she was kind of mistimed on her jump there. It looked like she hit that on her way down. But 20 all here. Set number 1. Getting very exciting here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. It'll be Mariah Stevens to send it away. The serve, good one, handled well from Colahan. Mac Ricketts now over to Worcester once again. Tipped, and that's going to be out. Kaylee Worcester once again. So it'll be Piper Ricketts and Bartulovic to enter back in. Piper Ricketts will go back to serve it away with a 1-point advantage. Who's going to have enough to find a way and close out the all-important set number 1? You know, you can't win a game if you don't win the first set. Or at least win at least one set. So some team's going to be off to a better start. So back and forth we go. Harrington, soft touch. Allie White nice reads save. It well. And that one, good play there from Harrington. Tough play. Allie White makes a heck of an effort play to dive and keep that one up. Unfortunately, a little bit heavy, and it floats right above the rim. Right above the net, excuse me. Getting my sports Mitch Max a little bit and getting ready for basketball season. Started to prepare some stuff. But that one falls, and another one floating right over the net. And Depauw takes advantage of it again. This time, Lauren Ridgway. Mac Ricketts tries to play it, but it was just too far over the net. So 22-21. Kendall Herrick now to send it away. Mac Ricketts goes for the quick touch. It's going to be, and it's going to drop.
That was a huge point there to tie it back up.
Yeah, Mac Ricketts opting for that little sneaky touch 3 times in the set number 1. We don't usually see that from her. She likes to bring it out maybe once a set, a couple times a game, but her ability to deceive and use it when needed, that time was much needed. Kendall Black, a really good serve. Gansel handles it. It's going to float. Good tip at the net. It's going to give Wittenberg a good opportunity. Now Bartulovic, and that one's going to drop. Finds the far side of the court. Mac Ricketts, but what a job there from Colahan and Bartulovic to get a tip at the net to give Wittenberg a much better opportunity there to get that play. Mac Ricketts sets up Bartulovic, and Bartulovic gets a much-needed point. Wittenberg responds with 2 of their own after Depauw takes the lead, 23-22, and that's going to be the final timeout this time. Final timeout from head coach Deb Zellers and Depauw. So we're going to let these two coaches talk it over and, game plan for this final push to close out set number 1. We'll be right back in around 45 seconds. And we are back out of the timeout. It'll be Kendall Black to send it away for Wittenberg. Kendall Black, a very good server. That one, another good one. It's going to be a scramble. It's going to be poked over.
Good
kept up from the Tigers, and Kendall Black. It's going to get dropped at the net once again, floating over. Back and forth we go. It's a scramble for it. Mac Ricketts gets out of the way, finds a way to get it over. Wittenberg able to get back in rotation. Another soft touch. Tipped to Cam Colahan. Mac Ricketts now over to Bartulovic. That one, what a there from Grace Myers. Tipped over. Bartulovic keeps it up. Unable to. So a big point for Depauw out of the timeout. 23-all. And that one was a tough one to keep up with. Both teams scrambling there, playing a little patty cake at the net, back and forth. Hot potato. Who was going to get it over the net quicker? Depauw ultimately gets the point. Piper Ricketts now. Mac Ricketts, Kate Colahan, and that one's going to drop. Kate Colahan to the freshman. And now Wittenberg on set point. Tyler Linkhart going to check back in. If Depauw scores here, it'll force us into the 2-point kind of overtime rule where you have to win by 2. So let's see, can Wittenberg close it out? Set point, Piper Ricketts. The serve is up. Handled by Depauw. The set, it's going to be poked over soft. Allie White keeps it up. Mac Ricketts now over to Tyler Linkhart. The soft touch it, and it drops. Depauw arguing that they kept it up, but the official calls it down, and Wittenberg, what a set number 1, is able to take it 25-23. Tyler Linkhart closes it out with the soft touch. Depauw wasn't able to sneak their hand underneath. A very good attempt, but what a first set from both these teams. And just a back and forth game of runs.
It was
game of runs. You know, Wittenberg jumped out to a hot start, up 10-3. Depauw responds with 8 points of their own, takes an 11-10 advantage, and from there on out, it was just back and forth.
Back and forth, yes.
Take more than a 2-point, 3-point lead, and came down to the finish. Wittenberg was able to scrape together a couple of those scrappy points. That was a big point. And set number 1 for both teams was those scrappy points. Depauw was able to scrap together a couple points. They were. You know, and what really feels like they shouldn't have gotten, and same with Wittenberg there towards the end. But just what a first set there. And just a really fun match. I'm really excited for the rest of this match to come.
I am too, JJ. I am too.
Really exciting set number 1. But we're going to let these two teams rest and talk it over. We'll be back in around 2 minutes. So we are back and about ready to start off set number 2. If you have just tuned in towards the middle of set number 1 or just recently, we'd like to welcome you all into the Tiger Sports Network. We've got a really fun matchup underway between the Tiger Cup, Wittenberg Tigers and Depauw Tigers. Wittenberg able to take a scrappy and fun back and forth set number 1, 25-23. And we are about ready, and Ava Golem to send it away for set number 2. Depauw handles it, the set, quick and efficiently. They get point number 1. It'll be number 14, Lauren Ridgway. So Zeke, if you're Depauw right now and you're head coach Deb Zellers, what do you tell your team going into that second set?
I just tell them to keep playing how they played in the first set, JJ. They started a little bit slow, but after that first time out, something was lit, and they just started cracking points out of nowhere.
Yeah, agreed 100%. And, that could be a big piece to look back on if whatever way this game ends up going is that first set drop, going down 10-3, giving them that lead. I know they ended up coming back and taking the lead after that, but spotting Wittenberg 10 points and taking that 7-point lead, made them have to work. Worcester tries to keep it in. Good attempt there. You saw Evelyn Miller coming over to kind of let her know where she's at. We always love to see those hustle plays, but it's never worth maybe going into that scorer's table for it. So 2-1. Depauw gets the point. Carwin sends it away. Floater. Allie White takes it well. Tyler Linkard. There's
the kill
from the All-American outside hitter. All-American to All-American. Matt Ricketts sets up Tyler Linkard perfectly. They've been doing this for a long time for each other now. And Tyler Linkard gets the big kill. Yeah, Matt Ricketts, not much else you could say about her. 14 assists there in set number 1, just playing her game. She's, so skilled and can do so many different things. And what a play there from Ava Golem to keep that one in. Worcester now a little bit farther back. Grace Myers handles it well. Over to Gansel. Worcester reads it well. Matt Ricketts, Kendall Black. Oh, and what a block there from Ashley Haas. Another big-time block for this Depauw team, and that's when they really started to find some success there in set number 1, was when they were able to get some of those big blocks from Harrington and Ridgeway, and now Haas jumping into the mix. And Depauw only officially on the stat sheet with 2 blocks in that set number 1, but their presence at the net was a lot stronger than that. Harrington keeps it up. Carwin now. Myers just going to send it over. Free ball for Wittenberg. Matt Ricketts now over to Worcester. And what a kill from her. Kaylee Worcester really playing a strong game so far. Gets a big-time kill. Her 5th kill in the game already. So the sophomore really finding a good rhythm here early on in this game. So it'll be Piper Ricketts back to serve it away once again. Sends it over. Good serve. Gansel. Harrington now. Over to Myers. Matt Ricketts now to Bartulovic.
Another great kill.
Really starting to see these outside hitters really get into a good rhythm, showcasing the power from Tyler Linkard Worcester, and now Bartulovic getting into the mix a little bit. Really good distribution from these Wittenberg hitters. Worcester had 4 in the first set. Kate Colahan, Tyler Linkard, and Kendall Black with 3 kills of their own, and then Bartulovic had 2 kills in that first set as well. So tipped over. Depauw, the good opportunity down Myers to Harrington. She gears back. Oh, what a read there from Piper Ricketts.
That's got to be such quick thinking, and that is such good court awareness as well, to realize where you are and seeing the ball come at you that fast.
Yeah, the reaction time, because you saw Piper she kind of throws her hands out a couple times, doesn't know if she's going to hit it, makes the decision last second to let it go, and it was a good decision. Good play, Piper Ricketts. Matt Ricketts now. Cam Colahan from the back row tries to get the tip call, is not going to get it. A little bit of a scramble from Wittenberg there after a little bit of a heavy first touch, and Depauw gets the point. So it'll be Mariah Stevens back to send it away for Depauw. Sends it over. Piper Ricketts unable to get underneath it there. So Mariah Stevens, big serve to tie this game up. Matt Ricketts, big block at the net from Harrington. Cam Colahan now back to Bartulovic. Sends it over. It's tipped. Myers, Piper Ricketts somehow keeps it up. Allie White tries to make a play at it. So did Cam Colahan. Allie White almost ran into Piper Ricketts. Cam Colahan comes flying from far side of the court, just unable to get under it. So Depauw with a little 3-point swing, and this is, giving a lot of the same vibes as set number 1. Matt Ricketts now soft. Another out tonight. 4 for 4. Just so quick and deceiving, and just there's not too much else you could say about it. Just smooth as it can get. Matt Ricketts there gets a point to negate the run from Depauw. 6-all here. Kendall Black, hard serve, just misses that end line. And a free point for Depauw. It'll bring Kendall Herrick back into the game. So Herrick just sent it away. Good serve. Cameron Colahan receives it well. Matt Ricketts now to Bartulovic. She sends one, and that's going to go off the hand of Gansel. So Bartulovic now getting a couple of big hits and gets a point back for the Tigers. You know, just like set number one, that latter half of set number one, back and forth we go. No team really able to get more than a 2-point advantage. A lot of lead changes. Mac Ricketts now sends it over. Grace Myers handles it. A little bit of a scramble. Mac Ricketts is there for it. Allie White now to Tyler Linkhart. What a hit from her. Handled well from Herrick. Be sent over. Allie White's there. Mac Rickett. Tyler Linkhart just kind of pushes it, and that one's going to go a little far right. And that play has been there. We saw Kendall Black do that earlier in set number one, just kind of pushing it to that far right corner of the court, and it was open there. We saw Gansel rotating over, but she had a dead sprint over there. So, you know, if she makes it there, how clean of a touch she might get is, you know, the debate there. But Mac Ricketts now back to Bartulovic. She rises up, and it's another block.
What a hit, though.
Gansel adds a block to the stat sheet, and what a big block, because Bartulovic, you know, she's a very fun one to watch. And her growth as a player, she's able to just kind of float up in the air. She's got a lot of power. So it'll be Kamer to send it away. Mac Ricketts now. Tyler Linkhart's going to get tipped. Myers keeps it up. Herrick now over to Gansel, and it's going to be point Wittenberg, a double there.
JJ, you said it too in the first set. This is a lot of back and forth volleyball. And how this set is going so far, it's 1 point Depauw Tigers, 1 point Wittenberg Tigers. It's going to go on and on and on.
So Ava Golem sends it away. Gansel, a little bit of a heavy touch. No one's able to get to it there, so 2 big points. And once again, like you just said, you know, Depauw is able to jump out to a 2-point advantage. Wittenberg responds with 2 of their own. Tie game. Who will be the first to double digits? 9-all here in set number 2. Wittenberg looking to get a 2-set advantage. Herrick now over to Gansel. She rises up and she sends it down. So that'll send back Grace Myers, the libero for this Depauw team. He's played a very good game so far. A lot of big-time digs, some good serving, good serve receive. Just overall playing a very strong game. Allie White with a good serve receive of her own. And there'll be a double call there on the Tigers. So 2 points back and forth, this time in favor of Depauw.
Sorry if you heard the headphone get thrown. I just got a Charlie horse in my hamstring, so that was fun.
So Worcester, Mac Ricketts,
what a kill.
Hand. Wow, just really showcasing the power tonight. And that's, you know, we haven't seen this consistent of power from this Wittenberg team. We know they have the capability to showcase and to have this power, but, you know, they haven't been able to get a lot of consistency from it so far tonight, finding a lot of consistency from it, and they've needed it. So Myers, Herrick now over to Gansel, unable to get it a little bit too far behind her head there. And 2 points back and forth. The last 8 points have come in increments of 2 from either team. 11-all here. Allie White now to send it away. Oh, what a serve. Myers handles it well, though. And it's going to get blocked down. A big block of their own. Finally, Wittenberg gets a big block at the net to drop it down for a big point. But Allie White started it off with a really powerful serve. Myers was able to keep it in play. Once again, another serve. That one just floating a little bit too far in the air. And it's going to float out of bounds. So now it'll bring the big intimidating presence of Caden Harrington back into the game. And it'll be Carwin. Send it away. Allie White, good receive. Mac Ricketts now to Worcester. And that one, it's going to hit the far side official.
It's the second time he's been hit.
A little too far there. And, you know, that's what that presence of Harrington does. You forces these outside hitters to have to go around or above them and forces the out-of-bounds touch there. So Allie White, a little bit of a missed touch there. It'll just be a free ball for Depauw, but it'll be a good touch. Forces Myers to dive for it. Gansel now, and it's going to get tipped. Tipped out of bounds, so Gansel getting a lot of action on that far side, and it's going to force a Wittenberg timeout. And again, once again, here we go in set number 2. Back and forth we go. Much cleaner volleyball being played, and just both teams really settling into grooves. Just no team really able to string together more than 2 to 3 points in a row. And so we'll see. First time out we've seen in set number 2. That was a big part of set number 1. We'll see if Wittenberg can do the same.
Yep.
They were able to respond out of these timeouts and really play well out of them. Evelyn Miller back in the, like we talked about before, back on the bench, a big piece. Get your head coach back, talking to the team right now. So we're gonna let Coach Miller and Coach Zellers talk it over with their teams, and we'll be right back. So we are back after the timeout. We'll see if Wittenberg can respond. Trailing by 2 here in set number 2. If you've just tuned in, Wittenberg was able to take set number 1 in a very close back and forth game, just as the set number 2 is gone. 25-23. Allie White gets down, receives it well. Oh, what a block there. Gansel and Haas able to block Tyler Linkart and get a big point out of the timeout. I think that is one of the first times we saw all 4 timeouts get used in set number 1. The first time the team who called the timeout didn't get the point out of the break. So
I didn't even think about that.
Goes for that push, unable to get it, blocked at the net, and it's going to be point Wittenberg. Net violation there, I believe, on Kenzie Myers. So big point for Wittenberg as Depauw was threatening to extend this lead to 4. Instead, back down to 2. Cameron Colahan back in the game to serve it away. Good hard serve. Gansel, heavy touch. Oh, what a play there from Garwin to take it up. Kendall Black now. Another heavy touch, so Wittenberg right back at it. Kendall Black, soft touch. Oh, good play. A couple of Depauw Tigers. But it all started with a really good serve from Cam Colahan. Sent Depauw scrambling a little bit. A heavy touch. Trying to get a question there. Oh, looks like a little bit of condensation on the floor. These 2 teams hustling, battling out. A lot of players diving on the floor. Just make a little bit of sweat. They'll wipe that up. Give the teams a chance to regain, settle down after that couple of back and forth scramble points there.
But this has nothing to do with volleyball, but that was one unique way to clean up that water. I've never seen that. In the hand with one, opposite foot, scrubbing. I've never seen that before. Have to try that.
To see. It seemed to be effective. It got the job done. But Cam Colahan's serve a little too far there, and a free point for Depauw. And it'll be Katie Gansel, we've called her name a lot here in set number 2, who's been involved in a lot of these plays. Oh, Mac Ricketts behind her back and head there. Harrington's going to get blocked down. It's going to be a point Wittenberg. But what a job from Mac Ricketts. That ball's a little bit of a heavy touch there. Mac Ricketts could have kept it in play. Opted to just go for that quick touch. First time we've seen her get a touch like that didn't result in a point, but it ultimately ended up being a point from Wittenberg. Depauw wasn't necessarily ready for it. They kept it up. But good serve from Piper Ricketts now. Over to Myers. Piper Ricketts keeps it up. Allie White scramble. Who's going to get it? Cam Colahan just send it over now. Free ball. The running attempt there, and it's going to go off the hands of Cam Colahan. What a play from Ashley Haas. And what's been really impressive about this Depauw team is they don't have kind of that main setter. For Wittenberg, it's Mac Ricketts. She gets a bulk of the setting, but this Depauw team it's a lot of different people setting the ball, and it makes it to be very unpredictable on who's going to do it. Kendall Black, the running hit, a powerful one kept up by Depauw. Are they going to be able to keep it up? And they do. Carwin gets to dig, has to get up, and it's going to be a point Wittenberg. Or excuse me, Depauw. Olivia Carwin is forced to dive and get a big dig. It goes flying way out of bounds. Depauw is able to throw an arm out there, keep it in place in the middle of the court. Carwin comes off the ground, keeps it up, and it results in a Depauw point. So big point. Wittenberg probably a little frustrated as we're going to get another timeout from Coach Evelyn Miller. A couple of these points that really feels like you gave away. It's not necessarily that Depauw took them. Yeah, they're making some really good plays to keep it in play, but you've got to be able to take advantage of those free balls.
I agree.
And right now, they're just not doing that, and Depauw's taking advantage of them not taking advantage of those free balls.
Yeah.
And because we saw Depauw, they had 3 members of their team in the far right side of the court there, out of bounds, going after that ball. And Carwin is able to get it over. Free ball from Wittenberg. Depauw scrambling back in rotation. 9 times out of 10, with Mac Ricketts on the court and some of these big hitters, it should be a point. But Depauw able to find a way to get that point, and a big one indeed, another 3-point lead as they are moving their way towards that 20-point mark. Up 18-15. Wittenberg going to need to respond now. Don't want to let Depauw, you don't want to be the too little too late situation. Kendall Black sends it over. Carwin is there. It'll be Harrington in that one.
What a block by Kendall Black.
Giving Harrington a little bit of a taste of her own medicine there. Just sends that one immediately down to the ground. And a big point out of the timeout. Kendall Black's been a lot of these late set serving scenarios. Good serve from her. Gansel, a heavy touch. Kate Colahan just sends it over. Doesn't get the best touch. Harrington gets it up. Myers now tipped at the net. Cam Colahan now. Kate Colahan. What a dig there from Gansel. Myers. Now free ball from Wittenberg. They got to take advantage of it here. Piper Ricketts from the back row. Carwin gets it. Myers now over to Harrington. Blocked off the hands of Bartulovic, and Depauw is coming away with the point. Kendall Herrick now is listed as the setter for this team, and she's done a good amount of the setting, but what's it's really impressive to me, the diversity and kind of the diversion of the different setters on the court for this Depauw team. You never know who's going to set it. Kate Colahan, the soft touch. Depauw reading right into that. Bartulovic, big hit there. Depauw not able to get it. Good hustle there from Gansel. Gets a tip at it at the net, but Bartulovic, another big kill. So now we'll see Wittenberg bringing back in Tyler Linkart to try to close out and find a way back into this game. Needs to string together a couple points. Mackert gets a good serve. Cancel now. Allie White with the big dig. Off the Carwin hit. Piper Ricketts from back row. Myers is there. Herrick now pushed over. Oh, what a play from Piper Ricketts now. Bartulovic's going to send one down right at the net. Kate Colahan now. Point Wittenberg. Couple of powerful hits. Depauw was able to withstand and survive the first wave of it, but unable to get back and get ready for that ball. They get the dig, but it floats right above the net. Caitlin Colahan makes them pay for it. Another one right at the net. Kate Colahan doesn't get the best touch on that one there. Over and a frustrating point to give away. Another one. Depauw, they've done that a good amount so far in this match. A couple of heavy touches off the serves and some hits where it floats over the net. And we saw Kaylin Colahan the point before punish him on it, but that time mistimes it a little bit. Kind of a soft floating touch. Depauw gets the point. So Allie White now, Mac Ricketts over to Tyler Linkart, the soft touch. Well played. Somehow Depauw keeps it up. Mac Ricketts out, Tyler Linkart, and that's going to get... Ooh, thought it was tipped, but it's not. It's going to be out of bounds, and Depauw gets another big point, 21-18. Looking to even this game up at one set apiece. The energy in this arena is big now. Bartulovic pulls off last second. A little bit of miscommunication to Bartulovic and Allie White there. I think Allie White thought Bartulovic was going for it. Last second she pulls off. Allie White has to throw the arms up there, but too little, too late. And now a 4-point lead, which right now, with the way this set has gone, feels like a mountain to climb if you're Wittenberg. Tyler Linkart, Mac Ricketts, back to Tyler Linkart. She's going to push into that corner. What a play!
What a play!
But it's going to be a point. Wittenberg. Deb Zeller's unhappy with that call. I believe they're getting for a double. But now Worcester and Ava Golem back into the game. This has been that dangerous lineup with Golem serving. Worcester, Kate Colahan, Tyler Linkart on the front line, and then Allie White and Mac Ricketts in their spots. 22-19. Ava Golem to serve it away for the Tigers. The serve is up. It's a good serve, and that one's going to drop.
Right back in it.
Grace Myers unable to get her arms under. She's done that so much tonight. She's finding a way to get her hands underneath it. Unable to that time, and that's going to force the first time out from Deb Zeller. big time boost from Ava Golem off the bench and a huge serve from the freshman. And that's what you just love to see if you're a Wittenberg fan and coach, seeing your freshman in this big of a game, conference game, coming into it, not being afraid of the bright lights, big time serve, big time point. Whew. What a game we got going on.
This is a nail biter we have, and it's only set 2, JJ.
Only set 2. That comment you made about the 5 sets might be in play with the way this one's going. But, so Deb Zellers calls the first time out for Depauw as they sense Wittenberg starting to get some of that momentum back, trying to fight their way back and claw their way back into this one. We're going to be right back in about 30 seconds to finish out set number 2. And we are back after the timeout. We'll see if that timeout for Depauw is going to prove to be effective like most of them have this game for both sides. We're going to have another towel wipage there. Now we are ready to go. Ava Golem back to serve it away. Here's the serve from her. Another good one. Gansel handles it at 2 back-to-back. Big serves from the freshman Ava Golem. What a serve from her. Just that ball, last second is floating, and that thing just takes a wicked drop at the end. Depauw unable to handle it. 21-22, another serve. Another good one. Myers handles it much better this time. The running serve, and that one drops. A big point there from Carwin. Good set from Kendall Herrick. And now Depauw gets a big point, and they get to send Grace Myers back to serve it away. Grace Myers, a lot like Allie White, Matt Ricketts, does a little bit of everything for this Depauw team from what we've seen tonight. It's a good serve. Worcester mishandles it. Huge point to give away. Now Wittenberg is going to need to find 3 points to get back into this one. 24-21. Depauw on set point. Grace Myers to serve it away. The serve is up. Allie White handles it. Mac Ricketts now over to Tyler Linkart. Sends it over. And that one's going to be a heavy touch there from Herrick. I think everybody in the whole arena kind of held their breath there because no one was there for Wittenberg. That found a way to drop. That would have been a huge point given away. But Tyler Linkart, it'll be Allie White now. Needs 2 points. Serve is up. It's a good one. Herrick now over to Gansel, and that's going to be it. What a play there. Tip down at the net, and a big point. This Depauw team playing with a lot of energy right now, and we talked about it. We called Gansel's name a lot there in set number 2, and of course she's the one to close it out. So Depauw responds in a huge way here in set number 2, and just what a set.
They did respond well there, JJ, and like we keep saying, it's back and forth, back and forth. I really that whole set, I didn't see one terribly bad mistake where one team went up by 5 and then they came back. It was within 2-3 points that whole time.
4 points, I think, was the largest lead Depauw got up to. And but other than that, man, what a game we got going on. Just back and forth we go. And the thing is, right now, it doesn't feel like any team has the edge. That set very easily could have come down to Wittenberg could have taken it. But Depauw finds a way to close it out. A big set for them and big set for Deb Zeller's squad. But what a game we've got going on. 1-1 here, and just a back and forth affair between this Tiger Cup. Exactly what we expected going into it. We're going to let these two coaches talk it over. We'll be right back for set number 3. And we are back for set number 3. If you've just tuned in set number 2 or later on after that, we'd like to welcome you all into the Tiger Sport Network. We've got a fun battle underway between the Depauw Tigers and your Wittenberg Tigers, 1-1 apiece right now. Wittenberg taking set number 1, 25-23. Depauw closing out set number 2, 25-22. And just what a game we got going on. Both teams, we've seen a lot of good play from a lot of players. It's going to be a back and forth affair, and just it's going to come down to who's going to find that ability to string together a couple points down the mean in that kind of big time stretch. So Mac Ricketts starts it off to Bartulovic, and what a start to set number 3. A thunderous start and a big kill for her. And she had a big set number 2. 4 big kills there, and now she leads the team in kills. But the distribution of hitting right now from this Wittenberg squad has been very, very good. Worcester with 5 kills. Black and Kate Colahan with 4 apiece. Linkart with 5. Bartulovic now with 7. It's really showcasing a lot of power from both sides. Allie White now to Tyler Linkart. She's going to send one back. It's going to get tipped out of bounds, so 2 points out of the gate. And I think for Depauw, the key is I think you got to keep playing through Katie Gansel and Grace Myers. Katie Gansel's done a little bit of everything. Leading the team in kills, has gotten assists, a service ace. She receives most of the serves, and's got a block. So she's really stepping the stat sheet right now. Called her name a lot. Really playing well. Grace Myers, we've seen her. She's the one who's kept some of these crazy plays up. Her ability to keep some of these balls up when it never looks like it should has been incredible. But right away, Wittenberg storming out of the gates. 3 straight points. Bartulovic started it off. Now Linkart with the last 2. And once again, Ava Golem just making it really difficult with her serving.
JJ, one thing I've noticed in this game is both teams seem to be pretty composed, because this is an important game for both of their schedules going into the conference here in a few weeks. I don't see any stress or really nervous anxiety for this game whatsoever.
No, and these teams are looking really good right now in this volley. Gansel keeps it up. Allie White now. Mac Ricketts back to Worcester. It's going to send it over. Gansel with the diving dig. Back over. It's going to be a soft touch.
What
no,
a
it's not going to get it over.
What a
volley
series.
back and forth, though. And I want to start it off. It started with Grace Myers. We talked about her ability to keep it up. The pancake touch there. Throws that hand underneath. Keeps it up off the ground. And just what a volley between these two teams. It's been such a fun match. But Wittenberg gets a big point. 4-point lead. Tough one to give away there, but a really good start, and you've got to be really happy with that start if you're Coach Evelyn Miller, considering you really didn't have the lead much there in set number 2 after that 10th point, and just really weren't able to get it within more than 2 points. So to jump out to this advantage can be a big energy and confidence booster. Ava Golem receives the serve well. Mac Ricketts quick, but Grace Myers there. It's going to get tipped between Worcester and Carwin, but once again, Grace Myers, what a dig.
That was another great
What a powerful hit from Colahan. The set from Mac Ricketts, we talked about it, that smooth set right over to those big middle hitters. The ability for Mac Ricketts to place it right where it needs to be, and the timing of these hitters has just been so much fun to watch. We've seen it all year. It's just such a fun play, and they make it look so easy, but the timing of that play is so important, and they are able to time it up perfectly. So 5-1 advantage Wittenberg now. Allie White to serve it away. It's a good serve. Handled by Kamer. That one from Gansel once again tipped from Kendall Black into the back of the net. Now Harrington will enter back into the game for Herrick. Excuse me. So now big block presence in Harrington and Haas in the game right now. Linkart receives a serve. Mac Ricketts now. Oh, Tyler Linkart.
Unlucky.
Depauw was going to be. I would have been upset too if they would have let that one keep playing. Tyler Linkart unable to muster enough to get that one up. So Carwin, another player who's been a big piece in tonight's game for this Depauw team, serves it away. Heavy touch there. Tries to send it over. Worcester now tipped, and that one will fall. Myers and Kamer, kind of a little bit of miscommunication, both looking at each other like who's going to hit that. But the heavy touch from Allie White. Cam Colahan struggling a little bit as she laughs to pick up that ball for the serve. She'll be back in to serve it away. Serve is up. It's a far one. Oh, just misses that back line. She's been so close on all of her serves tonight. Seen her do that a couple times, but she's been inches away from dropping that in for a big point. So Gansel to send it away. The junior sends it away. Cam Colahan receives the serve well. Mac Ricketts over to Worcester. Worcester drops it down. Grace Myers gets an arm on it. Gansel keeps it in. Again, one of those plays Depauw is able to keep in. Allie White now. Mac Ricketts over back to Worcester. It's going to get very close play. Looked like it might have nicked that line, but the back judge calls it out. Point Depauw. So to be Gansel once again, but it all started. Grace Myers and Gansel somehow able to keep that ball in play. So that one now, Cam Colahan makes a diving effort at it, but it'll be Kenzie Myers to put it down. 6-all here, and just like that, we are back to a tie game. So Gansel leading the way with their serves here. It's done it all tonight. Good read there from Cam Colahan to let that one drift out of bounds. So Bartulovic and Piper Ricketts will enter back in for Golem and Worcester. We'll see if the Tigers go back to Bartulovic. She was a big part of that set number 2 and started off set number 3. Really doing a good job of finding those open areas and getting some really powerful kills. So it'll be Harrington, soft touch. Mac Ricketts is there for it. It'll be Allie White now to pass it. Bartulovic has to fall. Oh, and what a play!
What a shot there.
She surprised herself. Her reaction after that one was priceless. Allie White's touch there floats a little bit out of bounds. Bartulovic leaning backwards, just kind of has to push it over the net. Was able to cross it all the way to the opposite side of the net and find the open area for a big point. Piper Ricketts, a really good serve there, and a very unorthodox play from Grace Myers. Haven't seen her really make too many mistakes tonight. That one couldn't decide whether she was going to go with the over or the underhand hit. Got caught in the middle. Tigers get a point. 3-point advantage now. Running play, and that play has been very effective. Ashley Haas now. The quick running set and hit. It's a big point for Depauw.
I mean, me personally, I would never want to get in the way of a volleyball coming that fast at me. I don't have the hand-eye coordination to get that.
And we've seen some power tonight. So that just showcases the ability of some of these players, their ability to get some big-time digs. That one almost stays up. Lost it, couldn't figure out which side of the net it was on. It was on Depauw's side, so Kendall Black able to push it down, and she'll be back to serve it away. Kate Colahan enters in for Allie White now. So Black, Piper Ricketts, Cam Colahan, Mac Ricketts, Kate Colahan, and Bartulovic in the game now. Kendall Black, a heavy touch there, and that one's going to drop. Kendall Black just a little too heavy on that one. And number 14, Lauren Ridgway, puts it down. So it'll be the sophomore Kendall Herrick back into the game for this Depauw team to send it away. Herrick serves, sends it over. Piper Ricketts handles it. Mac Ricketts now to Bartulovic. What a block there.
And Depauw, just like that, right there.
And that's been a big piece. That is Depauw's 6th block as a team so far in this game. They have been very dominant at the net. And those points right there provide so much energy too. It's just such a big play. So Bartulovic back. This time, once again, really finding a lot of success with those cross-court hits. And finds a way to put it down. Tyler Linkar will enter back in, and it'll be Mac Ricketts to serve it away. So Grace Myers back into the game. Herrick tries to send it over. It'll be point Wittenberg. Good serve there from Mac Ricketts. Forces the Depauw Tigers into a little bit of an awkward situation. Unable to get a clean set. Mac Ricketts once again, good serve. Grace Myers handles it really well. Herrick now to Ridgway. Allie White is there. Mac Ricketts over to Tyler Linkart. She rises up, looking for a tip call. Not going to get it. And that one drifts out of bounds. Depauw gets to double digits. 12-10 now here in set number 3. So Riley Kamer to Send it away. Bartulovic. Matt Ricketts now. Kate Colahan. There's that play. And the quick block back from Ridgeway. Tyler Linkhart tries to react in time. Unable to. But once again, Ridgeway making a big-time play at the net between Ridgeway, Harrington, and Gansel. They've just been so good at the net here tonight. Matt Ricketts now over to Tyler Linkhart. She's going to give her back. Sends it. Gets tipped. Grace Myers is there. Herrick now over to Gansel. Tipped at the net. Good tip. Matt Ricketts runs over to get it. Back to Linkhart. It's going to get tipped. Back to Myers once again. Herrick to Gansel. A little bit of a rotation. Here we go. So Matt Ricketts now. Allie White back to Linkhart. Back to Grace Myers. Back to Herrick. Over to Gansel for the third straight time. It's going to get blocked. It's going to be kept up by Grace Myers. Sent over Piper Ricketts. Matt Ricketts now. Kate Colahan. That one drops. Finally, one of the Tigers were able to get a point out of it, and it turns out to be Wittenberg.
Now, JJ, that was some beautiful volleyball there from both Tigers there.
Just really good, clean play all around, and it was those three straight hits. It went from Mac Ricketts to Tyler Linkhart, tipped at the net to Grace Myers, to Herrick, to Gansel, and then repeat. So really fun, but now once again, Ava Golem serves. It's going to force a free ball for Wittenberg. Allie White, Mac Ricketts now, Kate Colahan. She gears up, and what a block! Ridgeway once again. And this has been astonishing to watch because usually we're talking about it in the opposite sense of Kaylin Colahan and Kendall Black being those dominating presence at the net, and Depauw just completely controlling that fashion of the game. Mac Ricketts now to Tyler Linkhart, and that's just too easy for the All-Americans. Mac Ricketts and Tyler Linkhart, as quick and efficient as it can get, up to Tyler Linkhart, and she sends it down. So it'll be Allie White back to serve it away with a 2-point advantage. That one handled by Gansel. Herrick now to Carwin, and that one's going to get tipped down to the net, and we're back into this rhythm. No team can really stretch together and find a way to string together a good amount of points. But now Harrington back into the game for Herrick, and it'll be Carwin who just got the point for Depauw to send it away. 14-13. Wittenberg, a good read there from Piper Ricketts and Ava Golem. Lets that one float all the way out of bounds. So back to a 2-point advantage for Wittenberg, and it'll be Tyler Linkhart to send it away. The serve from Tyler Linkhart, good one, handled by Kamer. Grace Myers has to scramble for it. Gansel just going to have to send it over. Allie White, good opportunity for Wittenberg to Piper Ricketts, sends it over. Kamer's there, good dig from her. Kramer now to Allie White. Piper Ricketts over. Grace Myers is there. Carwin, Gansel, and what a play there from the Depauw Tigers once again. Katie Gansel making an impact. Piper Ricketts, a really good diving effort at it, unable to get it. So Cam Colahan checks in for Tyler Linkhart, and it'll be Gansel to send it away. 15-14 in favor of Wittenberg, Cam Colahan, heavy touch there. Grace Myers will get it. Carwin now over to Harrington. She gears back, tipped at the net. And that one's going to drop. Depauw
and
finally
like
able
that,
to tie this game back up. Depauw really getting into that rhythm we saw them getting into in set number 2 now. Looking really strong, getting some big blocks, and really making this Wittenberg team look uncomfortable right now. So Gansel sends it away. Piper Ricketts, good receive. Mac Ricketts back to Piper Ricketts, sends it down off of Kenzie Myers. Mac Ricketts back to Piper Ricketts, sends it over, and it's going to drop. What a play, and what accuracy from Piper Ricketts. So the sister duo of Mac Ricketts to Piper Ricketts doesn't work the first time around. Second time, Piper Ricketts finds that opening in the corner, puts it down. Big point for Wittenberg after a little bit of a Depauw run there. So now she'll be rewarded and sent back to serve it away. Good serve, handled. Not handled by Gansel. Good serve there, just kind of that floating drop serve once again. Katie Gansel in position. She's played well all night. Potentially a costly mistake there for Depauw now. 17-15 Wittenberg. Piper Ricketts, another serve back to Gansel. Handles it much better. Carwin now to Kenzie Myers. Cam Colahan gets a hand on it. Allie White tries to make a play, just unable to. Back and forth we go, and this has been such a fun set. Number 3, no timeouts, just straight volleyball being played right now. No team really able to take a big enough advantage for a timeout to be called. So Kendall Black, just a free ball for Depauw now. Good opportunity for them. Gansel, Carwin, Harrington gears up. Oh, what a play. Harrington using those outstretched long wingspan to showcase her power. We saw her get a couple of kills there in set number 1. Was held in check in set number 2. But she's made a lot of plays with her blocking ability, but now coming up huge with some big kills. Matt Crickets goes for it this time. Depauw's ready for it. Ridgway's there. What a dig there from Allie White now. Bartulvik's got to scramble to get up. Wittenberg scrambling. Depauw with a good opportunity now. Back to Harrington. She can send it back. And it's going to get blocked down at the net. Kendall Black and Bartulovic. Another huge point. Wittenberg doing a really good job of responding to Depauw right now. They've been able to maintain their 2-point advantage, but when Depauw's been able to fight back into it, they seem to always be able to get that next point and not give up at least a share of the tie.
You just touched on it too, JJ. There hasn't been a single timeout yet. I thought they just called a timeout.
I thought they did too. That's what I was waiting for. But a big point there from Depauw. Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
So 18 all, really fun back and forth set number 3. What have you seen from this set number 3, Zeke, that has allowed both these teams to just really stay within their game and just keep it this close?
To me, it's just they're playing true volleyball. It's just very back and forth. There's been a long set of just the Wittenberg Tigers hit it, then the Depauw Tigers hit it back and forth. It's really just first one to make a mistake, JJ. It's a fun game to watch so far.
It's been really fun, and there hasn't been too many mistakes.
No, there hasn't.
Not a lot of mistakes, a lot of really good volleys, good, clean volleyball people playing. This is what we talked about. You know, that first set usually is the sloppiest of them. Yep. Second set, you're building up to it. And the third set, right on cue, this is when we're in full rhythm. Both teams are comfortable. They know what they want to do. And we are just watching some really competitive, fun North Coast Athletic Conference volleyball right now. You know, this is what you come to expect. No easy opponents on the schedule. And now, you know, look, this is going to be a test to both these teams. Who can close out this set number 3? Huge set to put one team on set point. And, you know, I think this is kind of the biggest set for both teams right now. Whoever can win this set, not only do they put themselves in the position to win the game, but you also give yourself that 2-set cushion. And right now, with the way teams are playing, it's just been so back and forth. This set seems to be like it might be the most important one outside of that final deciding winning set if we get to a set 5. So the serve is up. Cam Colan receives it well. Bartulovic, and that one's going to be really far. Depauw out of the timeout takes the lead for the first time in a good amount of time. They've been able to fight back and tie it up. Unable to get that advantage. Well, they finally do. And it could come at the most important time. The closing of set number 3. Piper Ricketts backing up. Just a huge error now for Wittenberg, giving Depauw a 2-point advantage. 20-18 right now is a very pivotal point right here. Serves up from Herrick. Colan takes it. Miscommunication. Tigers just looking very uncomfortable right now. They need to, this is a big timeout right here. They just, all 3 of those points, miscommunication. They seem to be questioning what type of hits they should do, and it was costly. Depauw gets a 3-point advantage. You know, we talked about clean volleyball being played out of the timeout, not clean volleyball.
Not clean volleyball.
Very frustrating to watch if you're a Wittenberg fan and if you're head coach Evelyn Miller. To see how well your team's played this whole set. You controlled the game. You forced Depauw to be the one to have to claw back into it. And then when it comes down to it, Depauw tied the game up. Talked about them responding. Haven't been able to respond this time around. Depauw really looking strong right now. Putting this Wittenberg team in a very uncomfortable situation.
I mean, you said it too, JJ. This third set, it means a lot in a volleyball game, especially when it is tied 1-1 right now. Having that winning urgency from that third set puts you in a good spot for that 4th one as well.
And Depauw doing a really good job of taking advantage of this Wittenberg rotation right now. Kendall Black, Tyler Linkhart, Worcester, and Ava Golem all out of the game right now. And they've been huge pieces to why this team has been successful so far in this game. So really kind of putting this Wittenberg team in a tough spot right now. They need to respond out of the timeout. Can they? Piper Ricketts, really good receive on that serve. Caitlin Colahan's going to get tipped. What a job from Herrick and Myers to keep it up. Kenzie Myers now pokes it up. Allie White, Mac Ricketts over to Bartulovic, who gears back. It's going to get tipped. Herrick is there. Grace Myers over to Kenzie Myers. Huge point for Wittenberg there, out of the timeout. And I think it all just started with a much better serve receive. Piper Ricketts with a big-time receive on that serve there, put this Tiger team in a much better spot. Instead of scrambling around, they're able to get it to Mac Ricketts, set it up to Caitlin Colahan, and then put Depauw as the ones to kind of run and put in that awkward spot. So Gansel to Herrick. And just a really good hit from Depauw. It's just a frustrating point because you force Depauw to kind of take one of those mid-court hits over, which you think should be a good opportunity for Wittenberg to get into what they want. More of a, not necessarily a free ball, but a much easier ball to get to than normal. So that one, a good serve. Allie White slides over to get it. Mac Ricketts now. Bartulovic just going to have to send it over. And another miss hit from the Tigers, and it's going to be a 4-point lead. And now we're going to see Sam Fincham enter into the game for the first time. Wittenberg needing to make a change. Opting to go with the freshman who's played some big minutes and some big games this year. Going to need some from her now. Piper Ricketts, good play. Mac Ricketts over to Tyler Linkar. She sends one down. Huge point. Huge energy. Need it. Ava Golem now entering back into for Sam Fincham. A quick stint from her. But now we're going to need some of that Ava Golem serving that we saw earlier on in the set number 3. Need to get back into this one. Huge set. One that you feel like if they lose it, they felt like they right off their fingertips. Grace Myers handles the serve well. Herrick. Carwin. Oh, what a job from Allie White. Now Tyler Linkard keeps it up. Mac Ricketts does. So now Herrick, a good opportunity. Gansel blocked off the hands of the Tigers. And now set point for Depauw. And they've got who they want back to serve it away. Grace Myers, the libero for this Depauw team. She's back. She's ready to serve. It's over. And it finds the back of the net. So a break for Wittenberg. But now here's the issue. You need to find a way to string together 3 points. You've got Allie White back. You've got a good lineup in. Maybe a little bit of a smaller lineup than you'd like, with only Black and Tyler Linkar, really the two big hitters in there. So Allie White sends it over. Good serve. Gansel handles it well. Carwin. And that one just going to fall. 3. Really well played set from Depauw there. They drop, or Wittenberg, drops that set 25-21, and Depauw takes a 2-1 advantage and sets right there. But Wittenberg, you got to be really frustrated with that set. You felt like you really let that one slip out of your hands. They controlled all the way up until the 18-point marker. It was back and forth. Wittenberg was 2 to 3 point lead, but once they got to 18-18, that's when Depauw made their run, and that's when Wittenberg, the wheels started falling off.
I totally agree there, JJ. Now, this fourth set, this is a huge set, obviously, for Wittenberg, but how will they bounce back? Right, that's the question that they're probably talking about within the huddle right now. How are they going to bounce back after just losing 2 sets in a row?
Yeah, it's going to be a big question, but this squad, they've looked good. But once again, we talked about it earlier with some of the games previously in the season. Closing out games, that's been a big issue for them. And now, once again, they're struggling to close out a couple of these close sets. They're able to prevail in set number 1, but since then, just unable to find that last stretch of points. So we're going to let these two coaches talk it over here as we prepare and get ready for set number 4. We'll be right back right after this. And we are back here for set number 4 in Pam Evans Smith Arena. Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Network for this very fun, competitive back and forth North Coast Athletic Conference matchup. This game is a huge game for both these teams. Depauw 3-0 in conference right now, looking to stay alive and stay undefeated and try to fight for that regular season conference title. Wittenberg dropped 1 game, and that was to Ohio Wesleyan, a very good team, playing some really good volleyball this year. So they're 2-1, looking to fight to stay in a chance at that regular season title, a share at it, and as always, fighting for that better seeding in the final end of season, postseason North Coast Athletic Conference tournament. Depauw leading this one 2-1 in sets. Ava Golem to start it off for Wittenberg in set number 4, and that one's going to drop out of bounds. But if you're Wittenberg right now, what do you think are the keys to getting back to that clean volleyball you played earlier on in set number 2? Or set number 3, excuse me.
I keep saying it over and over. It's staying composed. Yes, games like these are big, but you can't forget the fundamentals of the sport that you're doing, right? So you got to just dig down and just remember that you're here for a reason, right?
So Grace Myers gets that one. Gansel, a big kill to start it off. Katie Gansel having a really good game leading this team in kills, now her 9th now. But yeah, you're exactly right. And just getting back to playing team volleyball, playing for each other, just getting back to trusting each other, staying calm. You guys know what you need to do. It's just time to go out there and execute. Macker gets now to Tyler Linkart, and that's just quick and easy. Tyler Linkart with her 10th kill in the game, leading this entire game. And you just got to keep finding these big outside hitters. They've had a lot of success. Bartulovic with 9 kills, Tyler Linkart now with 10, Worcester with 7. I would like to see them go back to Colahan and Black in the middle. They didn't really have too much of a presence there in set number 2. Both of them only with 1 kill each after having 4 in the previous. So Piper Ricketts now, Tyler Linkart. What a hit from her. Just kind of smacks it over. Carwin now.
Oh, wow.
Going to drop. This Depauw team really playing solid right now.
You can tell Depauw wants to win right now.
And they've got, and it feels like all of the energy right now has shifted over to that Depauw sideline. Depauw fans, they're playing with a lot of energy right now. Wittenberg just needs to get back to playing with energy right now.
Yeah.
It's a frustrating way to lose set number 3, but this game is not over. Get back to playing with energy. Oh, somehow Wittenberg keeps it up. What a play. So it'll be Gansel, but she's just on fire right now. Just dominating this game everywhere, all around. And, we talked about the tall, intimidating presence of some of these big hitters from Depauw. Katie Gansel, she's nowhere near. She's 5'8", good height, but nowhere near the 6'3", 6'2" that Ridgeway, Harrington, or some of these other hitters are. So she's a very fun player to watch. Wittenberg gets a big point there. But a big thing is just going to be avoiding those big hitters. Depauw really dominating the net right now. And that's another thing, too, is these serves have gotten out of hand a little bit for Wittenberg. A lot of these serves start to drift away from them. And I think the best case scenario is just get back to fundamentals. The worst case it should ever be in a serve is at least it's in play. You at least want to give it a chance to be in play, and that's a heck of a serve there from Gansel, just doing it all. That thing just floated and floated until it didn't, and it dropped hard. Depauw jumping out to a 4-point advantage. This Wittenberg team looking very flustered right now. Gansel sends it over. Good read there. Maybe a point, big point to hopefully compose yourself. Free point back, get Bartulovic back in the game. Piper Ricketts back to serve it away. Just need to bring the energy. Need to get a couple of these big energy points, a big block, maybe find Black, Bartulovic, whatever it may be. You need to find a way to get some big points. Good serve there. Haas finds it. Good tip. Piper Ricketts is there. Mac Ricketts to Kendall Black, who pushes it far. Really close play there. Gansel couldn't decide whether that thing was in or out. Last second, kind of like Piper Ricketts earlier, was throwing her arms in and out, Didn't know if she's going to hit it. But man, oh man,
that was close.
Close to the line.
That was close.
Really close there. Serve from Mariah Stevens. Mac Ricketts now over to Bartulovic, who sends it blocked once again at the net. Mac Ricketts, top. Ooh, good job from Wittenberg to keep it up, but these between Ridgeway and Harrington now. 6'3" and 6'2". They've gotten just a complete control over the net right now. And that one going to get called a tip there. Point Wittenberg. So a big point. But wow, man, these Harrington and Ridgeway right now are just unstoppable at the net. Like I'm at a loss for words. I haven't seen this many blocks in a volleyball game since my time starting to broadcast volleyball.
I haven't either.
They're just looking very strong. That one going to get blocked right off the outstretched arms of Bartulovic there. So 8-4 in favor of Depauw. So now we see Harrington check out, and this is where you got to take advantage. Harrington's out of the game. Find Bartulovic, find Caitlin Colahan. It'll be Herrick to send it away. Once again, serve receive also becoming a little bit of an issue for Wittenberg. And that's going to be an early timeout from Evelyn Miller. So once again, Wittenberg coming out, still struggling. Still those same struggles we saw at the end of set number 3. Couple of long serves, couple of service errors, having trouble serve receiving and having troubles getting over the outstretched arms of some of these big-time blockers. So this is a big timeout, a pivotal moment here. Wittenberg, all the momentum on the side of Depauw. They came and stole that set number 3 from you, took it right out from underneath you, and now they're coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of juice, playing really clean volleyball right now.
But we've seen, too, JJ, out of timeouts, it seems like there has been a change in pace with the team that came in before the timeout, came out with energy, focus, wanting to win. Maybe we'll see that side of the Wittenberg Tigers after this timeout.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to need it. They're in a very dangerous spot right now. Depauw, it just seems to be like that snowball effect, kind of that big snowball rolling down the hill. They started off building up, putting some snow on there, building that momentum, and right now it's a big old snowball. Somebody's going to need to stop this snowball right now. Who from Wittenberg's going to step up, find these outside hitters, find Mac Rickett, find that energy again. Right now the energy is lost. You need to have that energy back and find a way to get back into this game.
I agree.
Right now this game is slowly trickling away from what we saw. That first set, 12 ties, 8 lead changes. Second set, 9 ties, 4 lead changes. Third set, 4 ties, 1 lead change. Right now, Depauw has led this entire set. Cam Colahan, another tough serve receive, a heavy touch there. We'll give it back to Depauw. Herrick now. Back to Kenzie Myers. Piper Ricketts is there. Another heavy touch. Tough play. Cam Colahan throws a hand out there. 10-4 now Depauw, so out of the timeout.
I think this is the biggest lead that we've seen all night too, JJ.
Well, actually in set number 1, we did see it 10-3 right off the gate. Depauw came back, but they are threatening to make it that lead right here. The serve is up. Allie White, a little bit of a mishandle there. Bartulovic sends it over. Grace Myers, there she is once again. Herrick now to Kenzie Myers. Heavy touch, another heavy touch. That's the key right now. Can't find a way to keep the ball on their side. And now we get to see the largest lead we've seen, so it'll be Sam Fincham entering in for Bartulovic. So now a very unique rotation. Caitlin Colahan, Sam Fincham, Mac Ricketts, Allie White, Mac Ricketts, and Cam Colahan need to find a way to get a couple of points right here. But Depauw, they're just a well-oiled machine right now. They're looking very strong, and they've been playing some really good volleyball right now. And they've just done a really good job of putting themselves in a good position, whether on the scoreboard, whether on the court. They always seem to be in a solid position, as right now Wittenberg just seems to be, the tires are falling off. And another block on the net. It's going to be another Depauw point. Just can't find a way. So Tyler Linkhart's going to enter back in for Cam Colahan now. Bring your All-American back into the game. 12-4. Banners right in the way of the scoreboard. Piper Ricketts, another heavy touch right at the net. Mac Ricketts is going to win this one. Huge point for the Tigers. Hopefully a big energy point. Going to need it here. Trailing by 7 now. Mac Ricketts has played a really strong game so far. 28 assists going into this set. Going to need some good serves from her. Grace Myers handles it. Herrick now to Ridgeway, and Ridgeway gets that good touch. The outstretched arms just too tough to handle. And another tip at the net. That's what Wittenberg at the net. They've been able to get a lot of tips, just haven't been able to get much from it. A lot of tips off to the side. So Riley Kamer now. Piper Ricketts, Mac Ricketts, Kate Colahan, another block, but this one out of bounds. But that's a huge point. Brings Ava Golem back into the game to serve it away. And you start finding some of these big hitters more. But what it started with, good serve receive, got to Mac Ricketts. Mac Ricketts did her thing. Point Wittenberg, 6-13 now. Ava Golem back in the game. Grace Myers is there. Heavy touch. Going to be right at the net. Piper Ricketts tries to fight for it. Free ball now. Wittenberg need to take advantage of it. Back to Kate Colahan. Tipped right to Grace Myers. Herrick now. Back to Carwin. Carwin. Piper Ricketts now. Soft touch. Going to get tipped up. Gansel's there. Herrick. Back to Carwin. Tipped off to the side. Carwin's good night continues. Point Depauw, as they are really storming out of the gates here in set number 4, looking to close this one out.
You can tell that Depauw wants it, JJ. They want to just close this thing up. They want to win.
So now we're going to get some subs. Haas back into the game. It'll be Haas, Carwin, Stevens, Herrick, Myers, and Gansel. Good lineup for this team, but with Ridgway and Harrington out, this is the time to find some of those big hitters. So it'll be Grace Myers to send it away. She's had a really good game. She's put this team in a very good position to win. Piper Ricketts, good receive on the serve. Mac Ricketts now to Tyler Linkhart, and that one's going to drop. Huge point for the Tigers, and that's what you need to do, especially with some of those big blockers out of the equation and on the bench right now. Find those big hitters. So Kendall Black back into the game. Kendall Black, Tyler Linkhart, Piper and Mac Ricketts, Ava Golem, and now Allie White to serve it away. Need a run from the Tigers, and that's a big serve there. Just really unfortunate for your Depauw, because you can never game plan for that. You never know. You're always playing it for it to go over the net, and that one hits the net and just falls right over. Huge point for Wittenberg, an unfortunate point for Depauw there to give up. So another serve from her to Kamer. Herrick now back to Carwin, and she's just really looking powerful right now, and that's going to bring Harrington back into the game and send Carwin back to serve it away. Carwin has really showed up when it mattered. She's had a really, I don't want to say quiet game. She's got, I think, 10 kills now after this set so far. Good play from Golem, but, she just does it at the right times. It comes when it's most needed from this team. Harrington out, big block at the net. It's going to float right over. Allie White keeps it over. Dangerous play, and that's a tough one. You get a big block on Harrington there. And then a quick hit back from Depauw I thought was going to go out of bounds. Wittenberg keeps it in play, and that's going to force a timeout now, trailing by 8. The game really seems to be slipping away for Wittenberg, and Depauw just looking really strong right now.
They are.
Just doing a really good job, especially these big hitters. It all just starts with Grace Myers doing a phenomenal job on that back line, keeping up with some of these big hits when it does get through these stretched arms of these hitters, these blockers, and then just the setting from Herrick and Carwin. That's another thing that Carwin's been doing. Talked about a couple different setters. Carwin not only has, I think, 9-10 kills, she had 11 assists going into this game. They're going into the set. So, she's doing a little bit of everything, but phenomenal. That's what I'm saying. A little bit of a quiet game from her. We always talk about the big hits of who's doing a good job of hitting it and getting those powerful points, but somebody's got to set them the ball, and Herrick and Carwin are doing a really good job right now. Grace Myers is doing a phenomenal job in the back row and getting a lot of digs. Grace Myers with 19 digs in the game so far. And from there, these hitters are just doing the rest. Just a well-oiled machine right now. Wittenberg, the wheels are falling off. Going to need some type of magic. Find a way to find some magic. Get a run. Get the energy back. But with the way this Depauw team has looked outside of that first part of set number 1, hasn't been more than 3 or 4 points scored in a row from this Wittenberg team. But the biggest thing is focusing on the point at hand. You can't get them all back at once. So Carwin sends it over. Piper Ricketts is there. Mac Ricketts over to Tyler Linkhart. It's going to get tipped, and that's a big point. 1 point at a time. Chip away at the lead. 9-16 now. And that's the main success they've had so far in this set number 3 has come through Tyler Linkhart. So she'll get a chance to serve it away. Hasn't had too many great serves tonight, but Gansel will be floating right over the net. Poked over. Tyler Linkhart's there. Mac Ricketts to Piper Ricketts. and it's going to hit the antenna. Very big point to give away if you're Wittenberg. So it'll be Gansel to serve it away. Going to get another towel break here, but once again, just a lot of really unfortunate just errors from this Wittenberg team that we're not used to seeing, and that we didn't see in the first couple of sets. But right now, it just seems that the energy's gone, and with that, it just kind of all of it left. So Mac gets Kendall Black. That's a huge point back to get back into double digits. It seemed once that set number 2 gave away, or set number 3 gave away towards the end there, the wheels just kind of started falling off, and right now it seems they're struggling. Maybe just one wheel left on. So Piper Ricketts back in the game, Bartulovic back into the game. See if they can't find her a little bit here. She's had a lot of success in this game. So it'll be Harrington, sends it over. Piper Ricketts, good dig from her. Mac Ricketts now over to Bartulovic. She rises up, and it's going to drop down, a big point. First time we've seen Wittenberg able to get back-to-back points here.
Just like you said, JJ, 1 point at a time. Keep chipping and chipping away.
So Bartulovic comes into the game and gets an immediate point. So Piper Ricketts still serving for the Tiger team. Tigers of Wittenberg. Kenzie Myers, good play, good set. That one's just going to drop. Harrington from Carwin, and once again, Carwin, a really good set right there. That's a really big point for DePaul. So it'll be Mariah Stevens. She sends it up, and that'll be long. Again, once again, really close to that line. A couple of these serves have been really close to the line, just unable to find it. So now, Ricketts, Bartulovic, Linkhart, Caitlin Colahan, Piper Ricketts, and Kendall Black in the game. And that's a big serve from Black there. Goes off the arms of Kenzie Myers. But first of all, Grace Myers has been all over the place.
She has.
The hustle there to try, even make an attempt at that, because we've seen her do that all night, is just incredible. She is such a talented player, and only a sophomore.
That's crazy.
So
that she's only a sophomore.
Harrington missed time. Woo. So a couple of points now. 4-point game. Wittenberg finding a way to string together some points, and that'll force a timeout from Deb Zellers. So Wittenberg now with a little bit of energy, some good serves from Kendall Black. Kendall Black's been put in that spot a lot this year, and some of those pressure situations, so to say. She's been in a lot of those for serving, and she's always come through, and she's coming through right now. 14-18, Wittenberg finding a way to claw back into this one.
Yeah, it's been good so far, JJ. With the Wittenberg Tigers chipping away slowly, I just really hope that this game just lasts long, because it's been a nail biter since the start.
I agree. It's been a really fun, from just a volleyball fan, it's been really fun back and forth. I'm not saying, obviously we want somebody to end up coming away with winning it, but it's been such a fun game, especially when it's come down to the last parts of the sets. It's been really close. It's been really fun and competitive. Wittenberg trying to make it a game here, but we'll see. Is it too little, too late? DePaul needing just 7 points, while Wittenberg needing 11. So Kendall Black.
Kendall Black just had another
serve. Gansel's there. Kenzie Myers tries to get to a good play there, though, but it's going to be a free ball from Wittenberg. Mac Ricketts now to Kate Colahan, and it's going to drop out of the timeout.
Another point for the Wittenberg Tigers, JJ.
Once again, Kendall's Black serve really difficult right now. DePaul having a tough job of receiving it. 18-15, 3-point lead. Kendall Black. Here we go once again. Another serve. It's a good one. Gansel's there. Carwin now going to try to find Myers. It's going to get blocked down, and it's just going to float out of bounds. It rode the net all the way down the line, but unfortunate. A big block would have been a huge block to make it a 2-point game. Instead, we're back to a 4-point lead. Herrick back to serve it away. But now Harrington out of the game for this DePaul team. It's Ridgway, Carwin, Myers, Gansel, and Herrick. Piper Ricketts. Mac Ricketts wins it at the net once again. Herrick now to Kenzie Myers, just pokes it over. Mac Ricketts tries to catch Grace Myers off guard, unable to. Grace Myers is there. Carwin sends it over. Piper Ricketts is there. Fun volley underway. Caitlin Colahan, right idea. Just wasn't able to keep it in bounds, and that's a really frustrating point right there. And I like the idea, but with Harrington out of the game, I would have loved to see Caitlin Colahan go after some of the hitters left in the game. Mac Ricketts now to Caitlin Colahan. There it is, and
What
that
a
gets the
shot.
point right after. Huge point back for the Tigers.
That was a redemption shot there, and you could tell.
And it could be a little bit of a mental game. Kate being a freshman, this is the first time she's probably really met someone who's able to match her at the net like this.
Yeah.
So it could be a little bit of a mental game that DePaul's been able to win based off their play. But Kate Colahan responds well. The freshman responds well. She's played well all year. Comes up huge there with a big point. 20-16. Some more condensation on the ground. DePaul is going to clean it up. And it'll be Mac Ricketts to serve it away. Still trailing by 4. They're able to get it down. This is the closest they've been able to get it down, excuse me. Mac Ricketts serve. Gansel handles it. Herrick to Ridgway. Tap. No one's there. And I thought it dropped. DePaul's arguing for it, but Herrick now over to Carwin. It's going to get tipped away. And I thought it was down from the get-go.
I did too.
I did think DePaul deserved that point, but and then at the end of the day, they get it. So it'll be Riley Kamer trying to close this one out for DePaul. 4 points needed to close out this game. And again, another self-inflicted wound right there that you just can't have in these pressure-type situations if you're trying to close out the games. Now puts it back up to a 6-point advantage and just giving away points. So, back to this. Piper Ricketts. Mac Ricketts now. Bartulovic tries to send it over. She will. Grace Myers. Good attempt at it from Herrick, but unable to. And we talked about it going into the game. Errors has been a little bit apart between closing out games, and errors for this Wittenberg team has been a big reason why they haven't been able to win the amount of games they've wanted to win, and that's been a big reason tonight while they're trailing and in this position. But they are still alive. Ava Golem serve. Grace Myers handles it. Herrick now. Carwin soft touch. Tyler Linkart, good read from her. She is there. Mac Ricketts. Probably wasn't how they drew it up, but a little bit of mistimed there, and Mac Ricketts handles it.
Chipping away.
So back to Ava Golem. She's been a force in the serving game tonight. Serve is there. Kamer handles it. Herrick now over to Gansel. Good play from Golem. Mac Ricketts now to Tyler Linkart. Goes for the soft touch. DePaul, a couple Tigers go for it. Gansel sends it over. Scrambling now. Who's going to get it? Tyler Linkart this time gears back. Oh, what a dig there from Herrick. It'll be back to Gansel. Can she get it over? She can. And it drops. Oh, what a costly read there from the Tigers. Thought it was going to go out, but finds a way to get in. And at a point where you feel like DePaul was scrambling a little bit, where you had a chance to maybe get a big point, but now that puts Grace Myers back to serve it away in a closeout situation. It's a good serve, Piper Ricketts. It's going over to the scores table. Allie White keeps it in. Ava Golem just has to send it over. Grace Myers now, Herrick. And there's that running play. And it'll be a net violation on Piper Ricketts. Just another costly error from this Wittenberg team. 24-18 set and game point now for DePaul. Gonna need a miracle for Wittenberg to get back into this. 24-18, Grace Myers. Serve is up. Very close. It looked like it was in.
Close read
but
there.
Calls it out. So 24-19. It's gonna come down to Allie White, Ava Golem, Mac Ricketts, Piper Ricketts, Kendall Black, and Tyler Linkart to try to find a way back into this game. Need 5 points now to tie it up. Allie White serve, sends it over. Gansel's there. Herrick now. Back to Gansel. And Gansel's going to close it out. What a game. And DePaul is going to get a huge victory.
Overall, that was just a fun volleyball game to watch.
Very fun indeed, and a very frustrating one if you're Wittenberg, and a very big win if you're DePaul. You stay undefeated in conference. Wittenberg is just a very frustrating loss, and it seems to be kind of the way this season is going. It's just a very unfortunate series of events. You're playing some really good volleyball, just can't find a way to close out and win these close games. But, very well-deserved victory for DePaul. They played a very good game, between that strong lineup of Grace Myers, Carwin, Harrington, Kenzie Myers, Herrick, Gansel. Just really clean game. It didn't really feel like there was a weak spot in their game. Wittenberg played solid, but, some of their weak spots showed. Where Depauw, they played solid, didn't really show a lot of those weak spots.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in the first set too, JJ, Depauw really wanted to see what Wittenberg was all about. And Wittenberg does have a lot of those trick plays, but as the game kind of went on, Depauw kind of anticipated those coming. And I think that also was a big show out for Depauw. They kind of just were ready for it.
Yeah. No, they did a really good job of settling into that game, settling into it after set number 1, and just playing some really clean volleyball. And if you're Wittenberg, you've got some really solid play. Your hitters were phenomenal. Linkhart, Bartulovic, Worcester, they all played really good games. Mac Ricketts did Mac Ricketts things. Ava Golem had some really good serving throughout the game. Kendall Black and Kate Colan controlled the middle. Allie White did a really good job on serve receive. It just came down to not being able to close out those sets and just those self-errors, especially because a lot of those self-errors came down the stretch in those closeout scenarios. And just a very good game, first of all, between both these teams. Depauw gets over 500 as a team, 11-10 now, still undefeated 4-0 in conference, and just a really good game. But yeah, so the Battle of the Tigers here tonight goes to Depauw, taking this one 3-1. It was a back-and-forth affair. Wittenberg taking set number 1, 25-23. Depauw was able to follow it up 25-22, 25-21, and closing it out 25-19. Just got better as the game went along.
It did.
But a very fun game to call for us. Very competitive back-and-forth game. We'd like to thank you all for tuning into the Tiger Sports Network. My name is JJ Weisenberger. I was accompanied here by my good friend and partner Ezekiel Bennett. We will see you all next time on the Tiger Sports Network.